As the weeks turned into months, John's life transformed. He became more patient, more understanding, and less reactive. People began to notice the change in him. His co-workers respected him more. His relationships with friends and family improved, and his inner peace became his greatest strength. One day, while walking down the street, John ran into Sam again. Sam smiled warmly at him. "How have you been, John?" "I've been good, Sam," John replied. "I've been practicing what you taught me, and it's made all the difference." Sam nodded knowingly. "I'm glad to hear that. Remember, anger is a choice. It's always within you to choose peace. And once you master that, you'll find that life becomes much more peaceful." John smiled and thanked Sam. He knew now that the real challenge in life was not about controlling the world around him, but about controlling his own reactions. By focusing on what was in his power, his response, he had learned to rise above anger and find peace in every situation. And so John's life continued, not without challenges, but with a sense of calm and clarity he had never known before. He had learned the true art of living, a life where peace was the ultimate goal and anger the ultimate enemy. This story shows the journey of John, who, through learning the Stoic philosophy, transforms his life by controlling his reactions rather than his circumstances. His life is a testament to the power of focusing on what we can control, our own responses to the world around us. John lived in a small town in the Midwest. He had a big heart, but one weakness: anger. Every time someone annoyed him or when he felt like his efforts were unnoticed, his anger would explode. He would spend hours trying to calm down, but still he couldn't seem to control it. He often thought to himself, "Is this how life is supposed to be?" John's life was beginning to feel like it was on the edge of chaos. One day, an old wise man named Sam came to town. Sam was known for his peace and calm demeanor, no matter what life threw at him. John had heard about Sam and thought, maybe if I could learn something from him, I could finally control my anger. One afternoon, John decided to meet Sam. He found him sitting at a small park bench reading a book. John nervously walked up to him and said, "Hey, Sam, I've been hearing about how calm you are and how you always seem so at peace. I've been struggling with my anger, and I don't know how to stop it. Can you help me?" Sam smiled gently and set his book down. "Of course, John, anger is something we all face. It's not easy, but the first step is understanding where it comes from. Anger is a result of what we allow ourselves to focus on, but we don't have to react to it. The Stoics, ancient philosophers, believed in this, and it's something I've been practicing for years." John, still confused, asked, "Stoics? What does that mean?" Sam chuckled. The Stoics were philosophers from ancient Greece and Rome, like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. They taught that we can't control the world around us, but we can control how we respond to it. The key to overcoming anger is to focus on what is in our power and let go of what's not. John was intrigued, but still unsure. "So you're saying I can control my anger?" Sam nodded. "Yes, John, you can't control the things that happen to you, but you can control how you respond. The anger you feel is not caused by what others do, but by how you interpret what they do. That's the first lesson." A few days later, John found himself in a situation where he could test this newfound knowledge. His co-worker, Mike, had been constantly mocking John's ideas in meetings. Mike would interrupt him, speak over him, and dismiss his opinions. John felt his blood boiling every time Mike spoke. This time, however, something was different. As Mike made another sarcastic comment, John felt the familiar rush of anger. But this time, he remembered Sam's words. "Focus on what's in your control," he reminded himself. He took a deep breath and paused. Instead of responding with anger, he smiled politely and said, "I see you have a different point of view, Mike. Let's talk about it after the meeting." To his surprise, Mike backed off. He had expected a reaction from John, but instead he got calm. John was able to walk away from the situation without losing his cool. Over the next few weeks, John began to notice a change. Each time he faced a situation where he would typically get angry, whether it was his boss's unreasonable demands, a friend's careless comment, or traffic, he remembered Sam's teaching. He started to pause before reacting. Instead of feeling frustrated, he focused on what he could control, his response. Gradually, John became less angry and more in control of his emotions. One afternoon, John was sitting in the park again, reflecting on the past few weeks. A man sitting next to him struck up a conversation. This man, James, was going through a tough time. His business wasn't doing well, and he felt betrayed by his partners. He vented to John about how angry he was at everyone and how life just seemed unfair. John listened quietly for a while and then said, "James, I know exactly how you feel. I used to be just like you, angry at the world and at the people around me. But I learned something that changed everything for me. Anger doesn't fix anything. It only keeps you stuck. The Stoics taught me that we can't control the actions of others, but we can control how we react to them. If we let our anger dictate our actions, we lose our peace." James was skeptical. "That sounds good in theory, but what about when people betray you or when things go wrong? How do you not get angry then?" John smiled and replied, "It's not about ignoring the feelings. It's about acknowledging them and then choosing not to let them control you. You take a moment, breathe, and realize that your peace is more important than whatever caused the anger. You learn to accept that some things are out of your hands." James thought about it for a moment. "I see what you mean, but it's hard to put into practice." John nodded. "It is. It takes time, but the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. The key is to shift your focus. You can't change the actions of others, but you can change how you respond, and that's where your power lies."